and welcome back to The Sacred Jewel. My name is Jewel and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about my own experiences, thoughts, and opinions about spirituality, witchcraft, astral projection, and lucid dreaming. The whole goal of my channel is to have like-minded individuals or curious souls comment below in the comments if you have a similar experience, questions, just your own thoughts and opinions, and let's talk about it in the comments and grow as a community. You might meet other people who have had the same thing happen to them, or you might spark an interest for someone, or might find that spark in yourself to start doing your research and learn about these wonderful, mysterious things going on in the universe. So today, before I start, I want to tell you, if you are new here, welcome, please subscribe. And I live in an RV full-time, and I just moved from Oregon to Washington, so that's why I haven't posted in a while. I don't know if this is a disclaimer, but this is a super casual video. I do everything very casual. I don't know if you want to call it carefree, but just kind of a laid-back way to share my research that I found that I've personally been interested in the hopes that it helps you along your journey. So today I am super excited. We are going to be talking about the rare starseeds. So I did a previous video where I was talking about how to locate your starseed origin, and I showed you how to read your birth chart to locate the degrees in your birth chart to tell you what star planet you originated from. So if you're interested in that, I will link it above. You will also need to go to that link first before you watch this video, because today we are talking about the rare markings, the rare origins that I kind of touched in that video. So the first thing I just want to go over is, what is a starseed? Just quickly, if you don't know and you're curious and have stumbled upon this channel and you are intrigued or interested. So a starseed is an advanced spiritual being or soul that has traveled from other planets, stars, realms to reincarnate here on Earth for a specific reason, most of the time to uplift and heal, awaken human beings here on Earth for Earth's evolution, so to raise the consciousness. But the first thing you're going to need before we start this is your birth chart. So if you don't have your birth chart, you need to go to charts.com, and all you'll need is your birthday, the location of where you were born, and it's very important you have the time. If you don't know the time of birth, that is okay, but to get a more specific reading, a more accurate birth chart, you'll need to know the time. So pause this and go get your birth chart and then come back. Like I said, my previous starseed video shows you how to read your chart, what we'll be looking at, but really we're just looking at the degree, so the number, and you can say the zodiac sign. So, or not really, the zodiac sign. So for example, like the number in Pisces, the number degree sign in Pisces, that's what you're looking at. So check out my previous video to get more familiar, but I just want to dive right in because we have kind of a lot to cover and I don't want to take too long on this. But the main things we are going to be covering today is if you have aligned with 4 royal stars. So if you're here from my previous video, we're going to go into those extras and more rare starseeds. So if you line up with the 4 royal stars, Ring, Nebula, the Gate of God or the Gate of Man, which is new, I just found this in my research, the Galactic Center, the Super Galactic Center, and lastly the first Attractor, also called the Great Attractor. So that is what we're going to be diving into today. We're going to find out if you match with those, what you'll need to see in your birth chart, and what is your purpose or meaning of life. Like, what does it mean if you line up with that? So let's start. The first thing you are going to be looking for the 4 royal stars, you're going to have a 9 degree in Sagittarius. So look at your chart. I'm actually going to screenshot and post it up here like it kind of did in the first video, but I'm only going to do this one time because my previous video kind of goes into that more. So if you have a 9 in Sagittarius, if you have a 29 in Leo, a 9 in Gemini, or a 3 in Pisces. So pause the video if you need to, see if you have that anywhere in your chart, then you are known as a royal star, or you have visited or came from a royal star. And what are royal stars? They are known as the guardians of the sky, the angels of the stars. So you're really like the protectors. You came from a very strong star system where you really looked after the solar system, basically. So let's dive into, if you line up with the 9 of Sagittarius, that is okay. And I'm going to say that I always say the names wrong, so I'm going to put the word below so you know how it's spelled, but I don't know how to say it correctly. So 9 in Sagittarius is Antares. I don't know if I said that right, but that is the home of Archangel Uriel, and you're the watcher of the West. So this, if you have a 9 in Sagittarius royal star, you may be an emotional person, and you might have to release some anger or forgive people in your lifetime. So you might have some things you need to work through, or you need to help others. So if you aren't an angry person, if there's nobody in your life you need to forgive, then your purpose is to help others work through their emotions, help other people forgive, help other people release their anger. But it's kind of saying that you may have those tendencies, and if not, you're here to help others that do. So let's move on to 29 in Leo. So this royal star is Regulus, I don't know. Archangel Raphael, hey, watcher of the north. So this is the star, the star of kings, so the heart of the lion. This is the most important of the 4 royal stars. So if you link up with any of the royal stars, 29 in Leo is the most powerful of the 4. And the reason being is that you are a healer. And if you don't know you're a healer, this is a big sign that you are, and you should be looking into that type of work. So whether if it's a doctor, a nurse, or you get more on the spiritual side, so an energy worker, healer, Reiki, masseuse, so things like that, or are something to kind of for you to look into, because you are a super powerful healer or have came from a place that worked with healing. So in short, your whole goal for being here is to heal others, heal the planet in whatever way works for you. So super awesome. Next one is 9 in Gemini, and this is Alderbaran. I know I said that so wrong. Archangel Michael, my favorite of the archangels. So this is the watcher of the East, and this has to do with courage, protection, and a divine purpose. So if you have a 9 in Gemini as a royal star, then you are here for a divine purpose. And I know when I talk about astral projection and lucid dreaming, I always call in Archangel Michael when I need protection. So you are here on earth at this time to protect others. So maybe if you're a mother or a father, you're protecting your children. Maybe if you work at like animal shelter, you're protecting animals. Maybe you go to protests and you stand up for things you believe in. But you're here for a purpose, and the main thing I have to say to you is to have courage, be courageous, and stand up for what you believe in to protect Earth and everyone who lives here. So next one is 3 in Pisces, Fomalhaut. Archangel Gabriel, watcher of the South. So for you, you are a messenger, and you need to speak your truth. So you may be a person who's very outspoken, and you say whatever's on your mind. That is great, but you need to remember that sometimes it's for good and sometimes it's for evil. So you want to use your powers for good. You don't want to be bringing people down, because you have that power to uplift people by your voice. And another important thing for you is if you get a random thought in your mind that may be a message from above that you should relay over to others. So if you get a random thought and you are with a stranger or someone you know, don't be afraid to say, hey, really weird thought I had, and let them know what came across your mind, because you never know, it might be something to help them. So definitely relay those messages. Okay, let's move on to the Ring Nebula. So we've done the 4 stars, over to Ring Nebula, which is 20 degree in Capricorn. So if you have a 20 degree in Capricorn, you line up with the Ring Nebula. So this is also called M57 or Messier, if I said that right, 57. Okay, so this is super cool. If you came from here, it's crazy. So Ring Nebula is the physical remains of a supernova explosion of the Lyra homeland. So this is the original location of all humanoid races before it was destroyed by the Draconians. So I'm going to be going into that in my next video about Starseeds, the reptilians. So we'll talk about them. But basically, before we have Orion and Sirian and Palladians, this was the homeland. So you came from the original. If you were 20 in Capricorn, you were a very old soul. You came from the original starseed before it exploded and started spreading off into those other star systems. So very rare if you are from here. But if you line up with this, basically it says you are 100% confirmed starseed. So one of the oldest of the starseeds. So you have traveled to many other planets. You started, you were a part of the very first humanoid races. So definitely look up Ring Nebula if you line up with 20 in Capricorn. So next, let's go to the Gate of God and the Gate of Man. This is super cool. So the Gate of God is 5 degree in Sagittarius. If you are 5 degree in Sagittarius, I cannot say this name, but you're from the star planet of Ophiuchus. It's not Orpheus, like the Orpheus. Ophiuchus. I don't know. And then that is the Gate of God. And if you are the Gate of Man, which is 5 degree in Gemini, you're from Orion. So basically these are portals and gates, if you will, locations for when the soul leaves the body. So for the Gate of Man, that's when you would pass through this portal to descend to Earth. So if you're being born into a baby and your soul is going into that baby, or you're being birthed, you will go through that portal or Gate of Man. And then for Gate of God, that is when when you pass away and your soul leaves your body, you will now go through the Gate of God to ascend back to the heavens. So it's kind of a portal way. So if you line up with the Gate of God or Gate of Man, if you don't already, you would probably be having a lot of experiences, with supernatural things, or being very open to, or not, I don't know if the right word is open, but you definitely know that there is life after this planet, after our life on Earth. You know that there is something else, because even if you can't explain it, you just have a knowing, because you have been visiting or been from those planets and portals of the Gate of God and Gate of Man. So your whole purpose, maybe it might be to help others cross over. Who knows? Like, I know when I do astral projection, and I will come across shadow people that I always ask, like, what do you need help with? So you might have a lot of interactions with people who might be stuck in between those portals. So very interesting. The next one is the Galactic Center, which is 27 in Sagittarius, 27 degree in Sagittarius, which is the heart of the Milky Way. And then we have the Galactic Center, or sorry, I just said that, the Super Galactic Center. So the Super Galactic Center is 1 or 2 degree in Libra, and that is a huge source emitting a stream of very wise galactic consciousness. So first and then if you're a great attractor or first attractor, it's 14 in Sagittarius, which I'm going to talk about that one last, because I know a lot of people have connected with the great attractor and the first attractor, and I found a lot of good information about that, so that will be last. So right now we're just going to talk about the Galactic Center and Super Galactic Center. So if you line up with any of those centers and the great attractor, first attractor, I'm just going to read this because I'm going to link the credits below, but I found this information that will line up with all 3 of you guys. So just hear this out. It's super cool. And to go to the-dreamweaver.net, which I will put the wording up here for you. And that's where I found this super amazing information. So basically, you either act as a very, okay, so if you align with any three of those, you act as the very force facilitating the necessary changes for the greater good. Or you will become a receiver of divine wisdom. So you're either going to make a lot of changes for the greater good and attract those changes for people and for yourself, or you're going to be the receiver of divine wisdom. In that case, you have to absorb the wisdom, transmute it, and relay it back to us people so we know what's going on. But basically, you might have started off as an ordinary person, or you may think right now that you are an ordinary person. But at a certain point in your life, you are going to be suddenly propelled into the limelight. Or you might be forced to do something unusual, interesting, unique, or brave. So this action or deed may influence a few people or a lot of others. Sometimes just your immediate surrounding, so the people who were around when that happened, or sometimes it's whole nations, and you might, do something or say something that influences scientists to start researching something or thinking about something a different way. So that's the type of power that you have. You also may go on to be New Age teachers, healers, or just someone who arrives with a special task, and you're capable of becoming the divine force of change. So if you align with any of those, the Galactic Center, Super Galactic Center, or First Attractor or Great Attractor, then you have an amazing mission, and if it hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen, and you're going to influence a lot of people. And you might influence one person, but that one person you influence could influence another, and so on, and grow. So just don't be afraid when you are faced with this action or deed that you have to do, because when you do it, it's going to be amazing. So I just want to end this with the Great Attractor. First Attractor is 14 in Sagittarius, or if you were born December 6th through the 8th, you are the Great Attractor, First Attractor. And this is the most powerful point in the universe, because it's basically a black hole pulling everything to it, literally pulling us and the Milky Way and other galaxies to it. Right now, we are being pulled to this black hole, and you can research this, that scientists don't know what is over there. We can't see, it's just black, and basically some people think it's the creator of all is there. So it's also a destroyer, because it's pulling everything in, and who knows what happens when we go into that black hole and when that's going to happen. But it's also a creator. So most powerful point in the universe, center of the universe, pulling everything towards it. It's the source of creation, mysteries of the universe. So if you line up with this, your soul has taken on a task to work with this magnetic energy. Okay, sorry, I was running out of time, had to make some more space. So anyways, if you are lined up with the first attractor or great attractor, then your whole mission is to work with that magnetic energy, because you are going to be pulling people, places, and things to you. So you might be really good at manifesting what you want, or attracting things you don't want, because you are always focusing on those things. So you have a huge impact on people, whether it's good or bad, because you basically attract those things. So if you are a negative person, you are going to be attracting negative things to your life, pulling that towards you. Another thing is, it says you will awaken during this lifetime if you haven't already. So if you haven't already started looking into what is, the meaning of life, why am I here, then that's definitely going to be happening soon. And if you're watching this, then obviously it's already happening now. But the goal of your life is to have divine harmony and fulfillment of your spiritual destiny, which is to work with that huge center of the universe energy, that magnetic energy. The last thing is, you have the creator's voice, so anything you say is going to be done. You're going to be putting stuff into action. And let's see, you are more in tune to the mysteries of the universe, so you're more connected, so you need to be more conscious and more aware. And I highly suggest, if you haven't started meditating yet, definitely do and look up the Great Attractor or First Attractor and how to meditate with that. And really, there are ways to get your soul and mind close to that center point, and who knows, you may receive messages that you can share with us. What's going on out there? What does it look like what is coming, you know, things like that. So definitely tap into it and explore. And lastly, a cute note is don't avoid the void. So don't avoid the void if you are a Great Attractor or the First Attractor. Super amazing to be connected with that source of energy and wisdom. Please share what you find with the rest of us, because we would love to know. But that is all I have for today with the rare markings in your birth chart. So hopefully you enjoyed that. My next video will be, when I post about starseeds, will be focusing on the reptilians. Super excited for that. I'm just going to post some credits of where I found my information now. And then if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.